Red beryl, a rare gemstone. Known also as red emerald or bixbyte, the red beryl gemstone is the rarest of all beryl gemstones, and is perhaps the rarest of all precious gems in general. For every red beryl gemstone in the world, it is estimated there are 150,000 diamonds, 12,000 green emeralds, and 9,000 rubies. This rareness is a result of the unique conditions under which it was formed. To date, there is only one known location of gem-quality red beryl gemstones in the world, the Ruby Violet Mine, in the Wawa Mountains of southwest Utah, USA. Despite its rareness and spectacular beauty, red beryl is hardly known by the general public, and as a result, is rarely found in jewelry. Red beryl basics. Economic concentrations of gem-quality red beryl are known from a single location in the world, the Ruby Violet Mine, in the Wawa Mountains of Beaver County, Utah, USA. Glossary of terms. Hue. The color of the stone. Basic hues are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet and purple. Tone. The level of lightness or darkness of a color. Saturation. The strength of the hue. Saturation ranges from neutral to vivid. Pleochroism. A second color seen in a stone when it is face up. This is a result of double refraction. Pleochroism can be often seen best in the ends or points of the stone. Type 3. A clarity grade. Stones are typically graded on their freedom from inclusions and blemishes. The types range from I through 3, type I being inclusion-free, while type 3 are almost always included. Because of the harsh conditions present in the formation of the crystal, type 3 stones are accepted as included and are therefore used in jewelry as such. Anhydrous. Without the presence of significant water. Red beryl is anhydrous and therefore can be heated, as often required in the making of jewelry, without cracking or exploding, as often happens with emeralds. Refraction. The light that is given back to the eye from the pavilion, the bottom of the stone. As light enters the top of a faceted stone, it changes direction when hits the crystal medium, thereby reflecting off of the inner areas of that stone. This allows the light to pick up color and refract out the crown, or top of the stone. Gemological fact sheet. Crystal system. Hexagonal. Composition. Beryllium aluminum silicate. Distinct from other beryls in terms of high contents of Mn, T, Zn, Sn, Cs, Li, Rb, B, Pb, Nb, Sc, Zr and Ga. The red color is primarily due to the presence of manganese. Appearance. Transparent, highly included stones may be translucent. Typical size range. Melee to 4.5 carats. Color. Red to orangish red or slightly purplish red in hue. Light to medium dark in tone. Typically moderate in saturation, ranges from very slightly brownish to vivid. Clarity. Type 3. Inclusions. Crystals, fingerprints, feathers, fractures, color zoning. Optic character. Uniaxial negative. Refractive index. Typically 1.564 to 1.572, ranges from 1.562 to 1.580. Birefringence. 0.004 to 0.010. Pleochroism. Moderate, orangish red and purplish red. Hardness. 7.5 to 8.0, slightly harder than other beryls. Specific gravity. 2.66 to 2.70. Polish luster. Vitreous, conchoidal fracture luster is also vitreous. Cleavage. Indistinct on 0001. UV. Inert to LW and SW. Stability enhancement. Red beryl's color is permanent and insensitive to heat or light. Uniqueness of red beryl. The rarest of all beryl gemstones, red beryl, was formed from a unique geological setting. While gem beryls are ordinarily found in pegmatites and certain metamorphic rocks, beryl from the ruby violet mine, the only known location of gem-quality red beryl, is found in rhyolite. Rhyolite is a light-colored, fine-grained igneous rock created from solidified magma or ash flows. The presence of beryl in rhyolite and its extreme rarity suggests the ruby violet mine is a unique occurrence in nature. Red beryl is now, and is likely to remain, the rarest of all gem beryls. Material from the violet claims provides both spectacular gemstones and mineral specimens. Gems and Gemology Volume 20, 1984, Copyright Gemological Institute of America. The world's only red beryl mine. To date, there is only one known location of gem-quality red beryl gemstones in the world, the Ruby Violet Mine, in the Wawa Mountains of southwest Utah, USA. Location map. Reserve and resource estimates. In June of 1998, a fairly detailed exploration program was completed on the mine site and the surrounding area for a feasibility study. The data from the drilling program, surface bulk sampling, and underground bulk sampling programs were used to develop an reserve and resource estimate. The reserve and resource estimates as of June 1998 from the feasibility study were: probable reserve 158,890 tons, average grade 27.02 grams of beryl per ton. Mineable resource 507,357 tons, average grade 22.80 grams of beryl per ton. Inferred resource 1,763,698 mineralized tons. Red beryl history. Red beryl was first discovered in Utah in 1904 by Maynard Bixby. The mineral is named Bixbyite in his honor, although it was in uneconomic concentrations and wasn't of gem quality. It wasn't until 1958 that gem-quality red emerald was discovered in the Wawa Mountains by Lamar Hodges. Mine history. 1904. Red beryl discovered at Topaz Cove in the Thomas Range of Juab County, Utah, 100 miles north of the Ruby Violet Project, by Maynard Bixby. Mineral named Bixbyite in his honor. Concentrations are non-economic and of non-gem quality. 1958. Gem-quality red crystals were discovered in the Wawa Mountains of Beaver County, Utah, by Mr. Lamar Hodges of Fillmore, Utah. Mr. Hodges was prospecting for uranium at the time. 12. Unpatented lode claims staked, ruby, 1-4, and violet, 1-8. Prospect worked as a hobby mine by the Hodges family and by intermittent leases, known as the Ruby Violet claims. 1967. Hodges sells the mining right to the Harris family of Delta, Utah, for $8,000. Harris family begins small-scale, open-cut, artisan mining. Additional mechanization is employed over time until a maximum production of approximately 2,000 tons of ore per year is attained in early 1990s. 1971. The red crystals were identified for the first time as red beryl crystals by GIA. 1993. First visit to Ruby Violet property by a reconnaissance geologist for Kennecott copper. 225 kg samples collected and processed by modified caustic fusion return an average grade in finished goods of approximately 1 carat per ton. 1994. March. KEC negotiates to acquire an option to purchase the property from newly formed joint venture between the underlying partners, the Rex Harris family and Red Emerald Incorporated. June. Geologic mapping of the claim block completed. 5-ton bulk samples collected from the ore and waste sectors of the artisan mining zone. October. First core drilling campaign completed, comprising a total of 7 holes of 6-inch diameter with an aggregate depth of 2,040 feet. Total sample of 15 tons were processed. 1995. March. Metallurgical refinement tests by KEC indicate that a crush screen sort process is the only practical method for gem recovery. April. Completion of a technical and commercial white paper by KEC resulting in the decision to fund an accelerated evaluation of the Ruby Violet property. October. Second core drilling campaign completed, comprising a total of 49 holes with an aggregate depth of 10,794 feet. 1996. March. Underground mining of bulk sample completed, with the collection of about 11,000 tons of material. August. Processing completed on approximately 7,000 tons of material selected formed the underground bulk sample. In all, about 83 kilos of red beryl recovered. September. Cutting, resulting in a production of 693 carats of finished goods. December. Acquisition of KEC and Kennecott Mineral Company, KMC, by Rio Tinto Zinc of London. Resultant KEC and KMC reorganization has profound effect on completion of evaluation/acquisition's hesitancy to exercise option. 1997. February. KEC calls informally for expressions of interest from interested parties within gemstone industry to consider some basis of acquisition of KEC's interest in option. March. Negotiations completed with Amelia Investments Ltd., KEC, the claims 2 owners Rex Harris family and Red Emerald Incorporated. That resulted in an option agreement amongst parties. Amelia established GMI and transferred assets to GMI. May. GMI establishes exploration permit bonds with government agencies. Legal work in transferring KEC claims and data to GMI completed. August. GMI completes drilling program which includes 13 diamond drill holes. All 13 drill holes intercepted red beryl mineralization. October. GMI completed underground bulk sampling program. Samples from crosscuts within pre-existing drifts to acquire additional beryl for processing and cutting. Approximately 2,691.9 tons, short tons, of material was sampled. November. Claim block mapping at 1 inch equals 100 foot. Several new exploration targets were outlined. 1998. January. Hand reserve estimation and computerized block models created. March. Mine planning developed using computerized block model. April. Cutting of rough beryl from the GMI bulk sampling program completed. Preliminary engineering study for upgrade and relocation of the processing plant completed. Feasibility study rough draft completed. March. NERI Resources pays to extend option period 1 year, to March 24, 1999. June. GMI completes a detailed or reserve and level planned mine map of the deposit. This information was used to develop a mine plan, feasibility study and associated detailed year-by-year discounted cash flow was prepared. December. Red Emerald Gibraltar, Limited, REL, renegotiated the option payment schedule and arranged financing that enabled GMI to exercise the option. The new payment schedule called for a $2.5 million payment to the property owner in December 1998, a $1 million payment plus an interest payment of $1.05 million in December 1999, $2 million plus interest in June 2000. At this point ownership shifts to GMI. $4.5 million plus interest in June 2001, and $2 million plus interest in June 2001 in lieu of 1,000 carats of gemstones to each of the owner parties. REL and GMI entered into an agreement whereby REL would purchase 100% of GMI's production. The purchases would be at a pre-agreed upon price based upon GMI's production costs and a fair and reasonable profit. GMI began large-scale, mechanical mining of the red beryl deposit. The mine operation combined hand recovery of visible red beryl with the large-scale mechanical recovery of red beryl-bearing ore for processing at the processing plant. 1999. March. Environmental assessments for the large mine permit and the pipeline rights-of-way were approved. The Bureau of Land Management issued the pipeline rights-of-way permit. GMI received an unusual written accommodation from the U.S. Bureau of Land Management for the outstanding manner in which GMI personnel conducted themselves and cooperated with the Bureau during the permitting process. June. The processing plant began operation. With the new primary crusher in operation, the plant can process nearly all mine-run ore. August. The processing plant reached production capacity of 70 tons of ore per day. December. An option payment was made to the property owners. 2000. February. Modifications made to the processing plant greatly enhanced efficiency. GMI actively entered the marketing arena by selling mineral specimens and gemstones at the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show in Tucson, Arizona. GMI marketed materials as an agent of REL. June. Capital payment reaching $5.5 million and transfer of title to leases made by landowners to GMI. Geological history. About 100 to 125 million years ago, a significant geologic occurrence began the preparation for the formation of the Red Beryl deposit in the Wawa Mountains of Beaver County, Utah. The event, known as the Severe Orogenic Belt, was part of a tremendous mountain building system where a system of faults thrust older layers of rock on top of younger rocks, creating mountains and wide zones of fractures that reached deep into the earth. One of the sets of east-northeast trending fractures resulting from the thrusting is known as the Blue Ribbon Lineament. This set of fractures are believed to be about 60 kilometers wide, 200 miles long, and penetrate 1,000 of feet into the earth. It is believed that over the years these fractures have actively moved many times. Approximately 30 to 35 million years ago, the area that is now southwest Utah was subjected to a long, hostile period of volcanic activity. For at least 30 million years, there were intermittent periods of volcanic flows, eruptions, and intrusions, resulting in a thickness of about 1,200 meters of associated volcanic domes and flows. One of these formations of associated volcanic domes/flows, the Blonde Wash Topaz Rhyolite, is the host formation for the Red Beryl deposit. The Blonde Wash is a map unit that is believed to be 17 to 24 million years old, and the Red Beryl deposit is located in a portion of the formation that is dated as 22 million years old. About 17 million years ago, it is hypothesized that a topaz rhyolite dome intruded at depth. The intruding rhyolite released gases and vapors that were rich with fluorine that complexed or combined with available beryllium. These gases and vapors traveled toward the surface through pre-existing fractures that were possibly associated with the Blue Ribbon Lineament and newly formed fractures associated with the volcanic intrusive. The rising hot gases and vapors encountered the remnants of a groundwater table in a blonde-washed topaz rhyolite flow. The water table was depleted by boiling, but a steam-rich area remained to react with the mineral-rich gases and vapors. The Red Beryl precipitated from the rising gas and vapor mixture at particular locations because of favorable chemical conditions. Additional introduction of groundwater may have resulted in a rapid and radical lowering of the temperature and the pH within the zone of deposition, and beryl would no longer precipitate. Red Beryl care and cleaning. The Red Beryl gem is heat-stable, relatively anhydrous, and therefore slightly harder than green emerald. In most respects, however, both gems need similar care, and there are a few simple guidelines to follow. The rich saturated color of the Red Beryl gemstones is entirely natural and is found in the crystals as they are taken from the earth. The gem is not treated by heat, irradiation, or any dye or coloring at any stage. The brilliance of the crystal is enhanced by cutting and polishing. The luster and clarity is often enhanced with oil. Most green emeralds and Red Beryl gems have traditionally been oiled with a colorless oil, which enhances the clarity to some extent. The oil introduced is not permanent, so this enhancement is reversible. If over the years your gem loses some luster, the gem can be re-oiled very easily. Green emerald and Red Beryl gems are less hard than diamond and therefore need protection from sharp impact or abrasion, which might cause scratching, chipping, or breakage. No emerald gems should ever be cleaned by ultrasonic cleaning devices and should never be cleaned by detergents or steam cleaning. Gentle warm soapy water without vigorous scrubbing is the recommended cleaning process. A gifted designer can create a setting which is both beautiful and protective to enable the gemstone to be worn with confidence. Disclaimer: information contained on or made available through this site is for informational purposes only. Your use of information on the site or materials linked to the site is entirely at your own risk.